is your client? That's a big question because recently I was reading kind of an abbreviated short expert report that was written by a land surveyor about a boundary that I'm involved in. And in the report, it kept saying, my client asked me to, my client this, my client that. And I saw the term my client so much that I asked the question, who exactly do land surveyors work for? And that's a great question because in my mind, just an opinion, land surveyors work for one group of people, just one. And that is the public. Because, it talks about in the land surveying acts and the rules and the textbooks and all these things about how the number one goal of any professional surveyor is to do no harm, to protect the public. And we see this idea of the health, safety, and welfare of the public again and again through many things like ethics codes and surveying statutes, all these places. And I was thinking, I don't think I've ever stated in a report, my client said X or my client told me to do Y. And that's really the start in my mind to making this video was to ask you guys as professional surveyors, as surveying technicians, as related professionals, who do you think you work for? When we go through and do this analysis, we have to think about, the hierarchy of needs. Now, not the needs of an individual like me or yourself, but the needs of a proper land survey. And when you conduct a land survey, what is your ultimate goal? My goal is to prove that my client has everything in his deed. Or my ultimate goal is to show that the neighbor is encroaching on my client's lot. That is the mentality of a lot of different surveyors. And I have a suggestion, and that is instead come in with a completely neutral goal. My goal is to reestablish the 4 lots in Block X of the Shady Pines subdivision. That's very neutral. You're not kind of poisoning your mind to one outcome or the other. You're walking in there with a completely blank slate. And having that, clear mind, clear conscience allows you to more accurately, to more truthfully weigh the evidence. Should I use the iron pin or should I use the pipe nearby? Should I hold the road which has been here since 1930 or should I hold another object which looks more recent? Because the analysis in the records phase, in the field phase, in the analysis phase, all of this information has to be collected, has to be weighed against each other, and then you have to make some really tough decisions. And if you come into the job with a mentality that John Smith is paying me, therefore I need to help John Smith, that is going to really alter your mindset when you do these surveys. So, I've got some homework for you. On the next survey you do, make the public your ultimate client and see where it leads you. And you may be surprised. And the last question for you is, as of today, right now, who do you think your client is and how do you approach doing a land survey? Comment below and let's get a discussion going.